Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka SK James FPL.
There you go, you got it right, mate, didn't you?
Yep, smash it. Follow me up on Twitter. I've created a new account.
Yeah, come on, guys. We'll obviously retweet it and stuff from the Season Keepers account, but James is well shy of the followers that he had when he was FPL drug, and obviously that's no longer after his Twitter ban for some horrendous tweeting at FPL Towers. So we'll move on from that. And yeah, is it what SK James FPL, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, give him a follow, guys. Right. I don't know about you, mate, but Sky was a pretty average week for me, which is becoming a little bit frustrating. So I'm kind of glad the international break is here.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm never glad to see the international break.
all right. Well, yeah. To be fair, yeah, I'm not a big fan. I just don't want to look at my Sky team for a couple of weeks. But we'll look at the Sky fixtures, obviously from the game week gone by, as always, and we'll do tier by tier, game by game, and then we'll answer your questions. So, first things first, James. Southampton 1, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, another great result for us. Got off to a flyer with an excellent strike from Adam Armstrong. Very happy with that. Didn't hit any tiers, which I guess is maybe a little bit disappointing because he obviously could have maybe had a few more shots. He's known for his shooting.
Yeah, we weren't testing
But
Martinez at all.
I think a lot of people, myself included, were on Livramento captaincy. So to get that tackle tier and a clean sheet was brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
Those on Villa coverage, however, are likely to be disappointed unless they're on, say, Matty Cash.
Yeah. Keep rubbing it in. Keep rubbing it in.
I forgot you got marked for this.
Yeah, I had Martinez for this game, and because I had coverage, I didn't want to use the transfer for Livramento. A lot of people have. I think he shot up to almost like 60% ownership, and I can see why, because he's been really consistent for the last 3 or 4 weeks at least in Sky, and he's what, 6.5 million. He's dirt cheap, and yeah, as soon as obviously Martinez conceded after 3 minutes, I was buzzing in the stadium, but gutted for my Sky team. And then yeah, watching Saints get the clean sheet, and then I checked FF stuff, which is obviously where we're getting the data from. Checked his site at the end of the game to see Livramento there with fucking three, 4 tackles for the tackle tier. I was just like, yeah, really, what's the point? And he got man of the match as well, I think. No, he didn't.
I
No,
think
no. So Livramento was announced man of the match in the stadium, but obviously he wasn't given Sky man of the match.
that's annoying.
Yeah,
That'd have been good.
yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, oh fuck, here we go. As for Aston Villa, I think it was interesting to see Buendia obviously picking up 5 tackles, tackle tier 2 in the game. Not really a player I think you'd be considering. As you've said there, Matty Cash owners, very likely that if you had any Villa assets for this game, you've probably moved them on by now. And if you haven't, I'd question why. But yeah, I think those with Cash, those with Martinez, even Watkins, for instance, you could jump onto anybody Saturday and Sunday and gain the fixture. So I'd be surprised if you haven't. Let's jump on then to the Saturday games, and that Manchester derby is looking like a sea of tier points for Man City. It's Manchester United 0, Man City 2.
Yeah, it really is. Tears all across the back. Cancelo, obviously, what a performance.
Oh,
Gutted, I think, didn't captain him. I did think about it.
at least you
But
own him.
yeah, at least I own him in one team. And what a return. Assists, all the tiers. You can't complain.
22 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, 22, 44 for those that captained. A
Yeah,
very
stunning.
comfortable City display. Rodri got 100 passes. Even Carl Walker got 97, which
Yeah,
is mad
I
for
know.
a for a defender,
Yeah,
for a fullback. But yeah, and Bernardo Silva keeps performing as well. He's been very impressive. He even hit passing tier in this game as well.
yeah,
Not much to talk about in terms of the United side. De Gea made a lot of saves. I
yeah.
mean,
He had to. You'd expect it.
He had to, yeah. um,
I mean, it was
Bruno got tackled here, which is a bit of an unexpected win, I guess, for Bruno owners. Ronaldo obviously very disappointing to just get a yellow card, no tears.
yeah.
Obviously very pricey in the game too.
Yeah, and obviously, I think he's a player that people will be looking at from, say, the beginning of December, when obviously United's fixtures turn back for the better, and he becomes a real captaincy option in some of the game days. And they've obviously got, I think there's a couple of single game days towards the end of December where you're going to want a Man United asset. The question is, do you want Ronaldo? I think the answer will probably be yes in terms of ownership, but I'm not sure I want any of those Man United players at the moment.
No, I mean people may even go there next week. I mean they've got Watford, I think,
Yeah,
next, which obviously there's potential returns there. But yeah, on this display, you wouldn't be too confident with them. But Man City, yeah, doing the business.
yeah.
Um,
The
Even
can
DS, very strong return for
Yeah,
him.
he has been. And the Cancelo hole in this game was frustrating because it's the game before I'm bringing him in. So my plan in the planner has always been have the Liverpool fixture after the international break and then move VVD onto Cancelo. And then yeah, just to sit there and watch him haul in this game was pretty frustrating. Shall we then move on to a game in which the winning team lost their manager? It was Brentford 1, Norwich 2.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one that. With them obviously getting the win. I doubt many people in the game are on any Norwich players. Maybe a few are on, say, Tony or in Buemo with a view to covering that Brentford Watford
Mm.
game, which obviously is coming up. But yeah, very disappointing for those that are on Tony or in Bremo
Yeah,
to come away with basically nothing.
agreed. Yeah, and I think it was 1.7 teams in the top 1K gambled on bringing Alvaro Fernandez, for instance, for Brentford, and I don't think he's been that impressive. I know he made 4 saves in this game, but they just don't look as solid defensively, and that would worry me. And obviously, he's 6 million, so he's so cheap that you're going to be having to keep money in the bank. Um, if you want to hold him season long until obviously Reyes back, then fair enough if that's the plan. But yeah, 6 million. I was tempted. Well, don't get me wrong. He was part of a plan. He just didn't become the plan.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a risk. I think if you're looking to save money, there's better picks
Yeah,
like Livramento at
yeah,
6.5.
exactly.
I just don't think it's worth going there.
No, and
Um,
I'd already reluctantly gone to Mbomo. Obviously, we know about
oh God, yeah,
The
what a horror
Rafinha
show.
move that I made. Honestly, it's just move after move at the moment that's fucked me up. We'll talk about my rank decline after this, but yeah, that Mbomo move was frustrating, and obviously he scored in this game. Tony assisted, and then it was ruled out for offside, so that was another kick in the balls.
Yeah, just not your minute at the moment, is it?
No, not at all. Let's move on to a game in which, Chelsea got the tears, but not necessarily the clean sheet that we all expected. It was Chelsea 1, Burnley 1.
No, perhaps I've been a bit late in Sky to the Chelsea defence party. I brought in Rudiger this week, and yeah, it was a bit of a blow to see the clean sheet go late. But I
Yeah.
guess he did hit tier two passing, which was something. Um, Havertz opening the scoring, also getting completely clattered out of play as well.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing
Um,
that.
yeah, I'm very glad he's got this goal because I was sort of almost questioning why I brought him in. Obviously, we brought him in for the Norwich game and Chelsea scored 7, but
Yeah.
Havertz didn't feature. But now he's starting to return a bit. It's looking okay. Um, yeah, it's just a bit disappointing with the clean sheet, I think.
It was, given a lot of us were on captaincy, and that's the thing. See
Yeah, you
if
did Rudiger both teams, didn't you?
I did, yeah, because obviously I don't own Cancelo, so that would have been an option. But yeah, Rudiger both teams thought Chelsea clean sheet locked in. They were looking comfortable. How they didn't score another goal in this game, I have no idea. But yeah, when Burnley scored, it was frustrating, and Rudiger only just made passing tier two, like 71 passes, so that was a worry. Um, and Aspilicueta, obviously third game in a row, didn't play. Um, I had already decided at the beginning of the game week, um, fuck it, I was going to move him on, even not for the fixture gain. And obviously, I was messaging you before the deadline, just saying I don't like doing this because it's completely against what I believe in Sky, that you should always at least gain a fixture, or a captaincy for a player. But I'm so sick of seeing Aspilicueta on the bench that I moved him on to Lewis Dunk. And thankfully I did, because obviously to see him then sat there on the bench and didn't come on again would have been a right kick in the teeth had I not moved him on and gained that fixture there.
Yeah, good move. You're glad you made it up, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely. Let's jump on to the next game then, and a game in which Conor Gallagher is once again just proving how much of a Sky legend he is. It was Crystal Palace 2, Wolves 0.
Yeah, absolutely love the guy. I've got him in both Sky teams,
Yeah,
and he's been sensational. He's been getting a lot of man of the matches over
six
the
so
season.
six so far this season.
Yeah, six. I mean,
Mad.
that's insane. 4 goals, 3 assists, all of that just in 10 games. It's very impressive, and he's going to be there to stay in my team. I think he's going to be my Palace coverage for
Yeah,
any particular single captaincy game that they have or will get in the future.
yeah.
I think he's leading the line for them. He's
Oh,
been
completely agree.
very impressive.
He's he's just one of those players that always looks lively, doesn't he? In the games, and I think because of the work effort that he puts in, obviously when he gets a goal, he's basically guaranteed man of the match. But even when he doesn't, he's constantly in the eye of the pundits, and obviously the tackles that he's making, the key passes that he's playing, he's always going to be there. And for that reason, I mean, he's up to I think 83% ownership in Sky. That
Wow.
you're talking like Salah, Bruno kind of level soon, and for a player of his ilk and his price, that's surprising. You would never have thought that at the beginning of the season, but he's almost a must-have at the moment, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, he's so cheap in the game as well. 7.3 million is it would be impossible not to get him.
No, exactly. And you touch on fixtures there. Obviously, we've had the January fixtures finally confirmed, and I think it's Brighton Palace on Friday, the 14th of January. So obviously, I'll have a decision to make. I've got Duncan Gallagher, but I'm probably likely to go Gallagher because you don't want to go against that ownership.
I swear Brighton Palace always ends up being a bloody
I think it does.
game day
Yeah,
on its own.
yeah. I'm sure it was last season as well, wasn't it? And Lewis Dunk got a
Yeah.
hole in that game. All right then. And as for Wolves assets, it's probably not many of you sat on them. Are you still on Roman Size, for instance?
I'm still got Saar, the keeper, but
Okay.
I moved size on this week.
Oh, there you go.
Moved size to Rudiger because I had the funds.
Nice.
Um, I just didn't fancy Wolves' fixtures. They've got like a couple of good games against like Burnley and Norwich, but again, the run after that is pretty tough. So
Yeah.
I thought it was the right time to move him on,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
fair.
double up felt way too much.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. And obviously he was one of the defenders that didn't pick up anything in this game, so you gained there, and obviously you had the captaincy. But did you message me before you brought Rudiger in to say that you initially had the captaincy on Conor Gallagher?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So
Didn't want to bring that up, but
yeah, a bit annoying to then take it off of obviously Gallagher to put it onto Rudiger, but yeah, I just felt like I wasn't sure if Gallagher was going to get a return,
yeah, you
whereas
know
I
how I am.
felt like that Rudiger clean sheet was gonna happen,
Exactly,
but
and
it didn't.
yeah, it's these minute decisions in Sky that really kind of change where we finish. But it's a long old season, so swings and roundabouts.
9 tackles for Kiyate as well. I think that deserves a
Oh, it
mention.
does. Yeah, definitely does. Obviously, Gallagher only just made it with 4, but I think Kiyate was on 7 after about 50 minutes. It was baffling.
It's insane.
Right, jumping on then to a game in which Brighton dominated in terms of possession, and obviously you can see from the tiering of the centre backs is always there, but conceded a cheap goal and ended up drawing the game. It was Brighton 1, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, an interesting one in terms of the tiers. Basuma getting a tackle tier and passing tier.
Yeah.
Dunk, obviously, very reliable passing tier. We did joke as to whether he'd get saved here when he went in goal, but Newcastle didn't even test him,
No,
so we couldn't even find that out.
exactly. I'd have loved to have seen that. I think I tweeted Sky, and I mean we all know that their Twitter admin team are dreadful, so I didn't get a response. But I'd love to know what would happen there if Dunk made a couple of saves.
Yeah, maybe they'd have to edit the game so they could give him the points. I don't know how it would work,
And
but
what would happen if he made a pen save? Like, it's
I
crazy.
mean yeah, that'd be insane. Yeah, I mean it would be a lot of points if he was in your team.
God,
So
yeah,
it's something they got to think about.
yeah. And I think Brighton are one of those teams that you could probably at least have one, particularly defensively. For now, I think that one though has to be Lewis Dunk because see Webster, for instance, is 7 million. He's the player that we all want, but he seems to be behind Duffy in the pecking order at the moment after his injury. And yeah, until you see him playing consistently 2, 3 games in a row, you're not going to want to spend the 7 million on someone that's coming on for 15 minutes.
No, exactly. You want that certainty. I think the only certainty there really is with Dunk, and I guess that's why you pay a premium for him.
Yeah,
Other than that, the only one you'd be looking at is like Trossard in terms of the actual who you'd want in
yep,
your team
yeah,
because
that's
he's
true.
been on form recently. On the Newcastle side of things, obviously they've got a new manager now, Eddie Howe.
They do
So
indeed.
maybe we can expect an uplift in their performances. Callum Wilson could always be a tasty pick in terms of goals. But we'll have to wait to see how they're playing with regards to tiers as to whether there be any potential picks at the back or in the field.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Callum Wilson, but yeah, he takes up that forward spot. But the one thing I'm hoping though is that Eddie Howe does not kill the run of Newcastle midfielders picking up tackle tier because obviously
Exactly.
you've got Hayden and Murphy both there with 5.
Yeah, still flying that flag high. Very tackle hungry in midfield, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, so do I. Right, let's jump on to the Sunday fixtures then, mate. And a fixture which was probably brilliant for some owners and not so good for others. It was Arsenal 1, Watford nil.
Yeah, Ben White still taking the piss since I took him out my team. Uh, another clean sheet. Carson tier two,
I
just
know.
fuck off. He couldn't string a pass together
No,
before when he was in my
they
team.
couldn't keep
But
a clean sheet, let alone string a pass together.
yeah, yeah, got me banned on Twitter. I think I hate Ben White, to be honest.
And now, yeah, he's picked up another 10 pointer. He's fucking loving life, mate.
Yeah, fuming. Arsenal coverage. People are likely to be on potentially a Bamiyang. Obviously, will be
Yeah,
that'll be a big blow for them going from a potential goal to a pen miss.
yeah. I
Uh,
think there's quite a few on Aubameyang, to be honest. He's 21.5% owned in the top 1K.
there you go. There you go. That's gonna cost them
Gets himself a
big
-2.
time. Obviously, Watford, no tiers to speak of, other
No.
than obviously the save tier from Foster and the pen save.
Yeah.
Um, Not worth going there at all until
Nah,
they show signs of strength.
nah, not at all. All right, well, let's jump on then to Antonio Conte's first Premier League game in charge, and really failed to deliver. To be honest, it was Everton nil, Spurs nil.
Yeah, not too much to talk about, but of course, Hoiberg is there with his passing and tackle tier.
Ah,
You can
unbelievable.
change the manager, but you cannot change Hoiberg's pass and returns. Death taxes, Hoiberg tiers. Free
Honestly,
certainties.
genuinely, it's crazy. Like there was talk that his role in the team might change given he's under Conte, the new system, blah blah blah. No, Hoiberg still remains a very valuable Sky asset. And good on you for sticking with him. Um, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, on the other hand, obviously two players that quite a lot of us have brought in. I think Harry Kane is 40% owned now in the top 1K, in spite of the fact his only returns have been against Newcastle. Obviously, the goal and assist, that is it. I'm one of those people that own Harry Kane, and I do genuinely still think he'll be a good captaincy option for some of these upcoming fixtures. But I'm not seeing anything at the moment, and I'm really worried that Conte's come in, he had a couple of days to work with the team, and now they're all fucking off on international break. They're going to come back, and he'll only have another couple of days before that Leeds fixture. And that Leeds fixture is one that you'd be expecting to target with Spurs assets, but I just don't think I don't think you can. Like for me, I'm probably bringing in Cancelo in that Everton fixture, I'll probably be more likely to captain Cancelo than I would Harry Kane.
I'd agree with that, to be honest. I think it's not the right time to be captaining Kane.
No, especially with Cancelo's ownership.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he does. But yeah, if Conte can get them ticking, then I'm sure they'll be flooding into people's teams.
Yeah,
But until then, it's a bit of a question mark.
yeah, we could see a real swing on that Sunday, the 21st. Obviously, if Kane or Son do go mental and people have been bold enough to captain, but I'm just not sure I'm gonna be. And let's move on then. Do I have to talk about Leeds? Fucking Rafinha again. Leeds 1, Leicester 1.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Rafinha goal. Not much else to speak about in terms of the tiers, but yeah, Rafinha proven to be reliable. On the Leicester side, an extraordinary amount of tackles
Oh yeah,
going on.
it's
So
unbelievable. There's
yeah,
what
look,
26 tackles from tiering, and then you add another 32 tackles in the game.
yeah, a lot of tackles and a goal for Harvey Barnes, which is long overdue, and
Yeah,
what a goal it was.
yeah, and I bet it was frustrating for Vardy owners, for instance, if there's any out there. Are you still
Me,
on? Yeah, I was going to say you're still on Vardy in one of your teams,
yeah,
but yeah, no shots on target, only 9 passes, wasn't really involved in the game much. Tielemans again, maybe frustrating for owners and went off injured. I think the rumours are he could be out for a couple of weeks at least. That might see him back for the next game after the international break anyway, because we've got that 2 week period. But yeah, I think he's pulled out of the Belgian squad.
interesting.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Moving on then to the last game of the weekend, and what a game it was. It was West Ham 3, Liverpool 2.
Yep, sensational from West Ham. But sadly for me, nothing from Antonio again.
Mm,
No tears as well. We don't really have him for his tears. He's known for his goals and assists.
yeah,
But I guess the only positive is West Ham are playing so well at the moment.
yeah. It's becoming a bit frustrating though, given
Mm.
even Ben Rama got the assist the last week, and then Bowen, Fornals both heavily involved again this week. It's frustrating when you've got Antonio sat there taking up one of your forward slots, and he's the one that's not getting anything.
Yeah, nothing at all. Those that have made the move onto Rice can be happy.
Yeah,
Tackle tier. Um, on the Liverpool side of things, Trent went big in this game.
oh, we did, yeah,
Goal and assist. Um, very happy with that. I imagine owners will be. Henderson still doing an extraordinary amount of passing, so that's worth consideration.
yep.
And obviously, Mo Salah still doing the business. I imagine most people's captain on the
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, I expect so. And worth noting that obviously Matip found his way back into the starting lineup for this
Yeah,
game
yeah, good shout.
ahead of Kanate. So anybody that had held on to him in the hope that he might feature, you've obviously you haven't got the clean sheet there, but you got passed in tier 2, so that's something.
Yeah, I think you'd take that all day long.
Definitely. Right, let's jump on to how we got on this week, mate, and I will let you go first.
Yeah, did very well on both teams. Team one, I got 90 points, and team two, I got 92.
Nice.
Um, team one, it was down to Cancelo on 22, Havertz 16, Gallagher 13, Livramento 18, Salah 10. It was a very good week. Only really, yeah, Townsend, Benrahma, Ronaldo, Vardy disappointing. Um, but yeah, very happy with that. Up to 2.5k in team one. Team two, the 92 points. So I've got Trent, Diaz, Livramento, and Rudiger at the back. So that's 9, 10, 18, and 10.
Decent.
Basically, everyone in my team returned apart from Saar, Ronaldo, and Antonio.
Nice.
We've got Hoiberg, Rafinha, Gallagher. It's good stuff. And that sees me up to 1.6k in that team. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, not bad at all. Again, this was not a Sky week for me to remember. I think those that succeeded did well because they hit the right captains, and obviously had Rafinha or Cancelo. But yeah, might started off the week terribly with Martinez as my captain there, and it just went from bad to worse. I got 63 points on my main team. I've dropped out of the top 1K now. I'm now 1,199th. Um, I've got plans to kind of move on to, obviously I've said about Cancelo. Um, I'm debating whether to try and move to four at the back. At the moment, I've got four midfielders. Gallagher is the only one that's performing, and Bomo was a mistake, but it's not one that I want to particularly go back on because it's another move, and obviously transfers are quite valuable in
Do
this
you
game.
do you still want him there though? He's not really doing anything.
I, I don't, but and I mean it's silly to probably look this far ahead, but it's that Brentford Watford fixture that's obviously
He'd
Friday the
probably just
10th.
get 4
He
points.
probably, yeah, 100% he'll just get 4 points. But I've got to hold him because I'll kick myself if I get rid of him and then he scores and gets man of the match. And I'll be like, well, I did have him. So
True.
he's got to stay. Trying to find a way of getting Damari Gray on my team at the moment. And it's not easy given Everton's fixtures. They're just, they seem to, where are they? Everton. Yeah, they're constantly playing on a Sunday. And it means that there's no easy hop off period for Everton. So I'm gonna have to look at that and again whether I just say fuck it. I'm gonna gamble and I don't need the coverage for the Everton Arsenal game, for instance, because I've got Ramsdale now. So I might just punt and move Gray on anyway to probably another defender.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's dropped out. So I think you're only 15 points behind me with that one now. So
Hunting you down, I was
you
over
have
100 points behind.
honestly, it just shows how quickly Sky can turn, and a couple of bad decisions can really affect you for a few weeks, and that's certainly happened with me. But onwards and upwards. Obviously, we've got the international break to sit and look at our teams, and I believe after that, I think there's 10 game weeks in the space, or 10 FPL game weeks in the space of 40 days. Um, there's a lot of fixtures to come over the winter period, and I think there's going to be a lot of swings in terms of points. So hopefully with the transfers that I've got in hand, and obviously I think you're very much the same, we should be able to make some gains over the winter period.
Oh, definitely.
Right then, let's jump on to the questions. And as always, thanks guys for sending them in. Really appreciate it. It's always quite a popular one when we put the post out. There's a lot of people that get involved. So first things first, James. We'll start off with our good friend Steve Bird. What is your favourite snack whilst fixture planning for the forthcoming games?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Mm,
I do love a bit of beef jerky.
you do. Oh, you're obsessed with beef jerky.
Yeah, I do. If I'm not having that, then just some crisps. I
Okay.
think those are the elite snacks.
I've become quite obsessed with crab sticks. Really weird, but I like peeling them into like teeny bits of crab and then eating them. So honestly, I can get through a whole pack of 16 crab sticks quite easily in one sitting. So yeah, crab sticks for me. Bit of a weird one, but yeah, love them. Um, moving on then to our good friend Ian Parron. Obviously, his Sky Planner has been pivotal. I mean, detrimental probably for current part of my season, but I'm not going to blame you, Ian. So, which of the highly owned players do you see falling in popularity between now and overhaul? And conversely, which of the lowly owned ones will see a significant uptake in ownership over the same period? It's a good question.
That is a good question. Perhaps oh, maybe people will move off Antonio.
I wouldn't be surprised. Antonio and Kane are the two that come to mind in terms of high ownership and value there. If either of them don't perform, say over the next three or four fixtures, am I really going to then look to hold Harry Kane after that? When they then play Brighton, Leicester, Liverpool, for instance, I'm not so sure. So yeah, I think Antonio could also be a good shout there. Again, what 41% of teams own him.
Mm,
There is value elsewhere, and we don't really need West Ham coverage in terms of captaincy. So it could be viable to move off of Antonio, and as part of my plan, he's the one that's going.
interesting. On the sort of other part of that question, players that are currently low ownership. I guess if Harvey Barnes was to start performing, people may bring him in.
Yep,
Other than that, I'm not sure.
I
I mean,
think
Højbjerg is actually owned by hardly anyone,
yeah,
and he's returned for the last 6 games in a row. He's only in 1.5% of top 1K teams, and other than that, only 5%
yeah,
teams.
agreed.
So he could be one.
In terms of I think the premium move. So I'm going to throw a name at you, James. Cristiano Ronaldo. Tell me, or take a guess, what is his percentage of ownership in the top 1K?
12%.
Oh, mate, you were so close. 11.
Whew,
So yeah,
that's a
so
good guess.
he's only 11% owned, which for me is currently a differential. I would not be surprised by the time that Wolves single game day, and I think it's Newcastle was one as well. I wouldn't be surprised by the time that comes round to see Ronaldo in at least 80% of teams.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be honest. I've got him in both already, but that's just me being different.
Yeah, no, he's planned to come in for me in both. So yeah, on that basis, Ian, I genuinely think probably as obvious as it sounds, Ronaldo is probably going to have the biggest upshift in ownership. Question in from FPL Buddy. So Gaita or Ramsdale, which is the better pick?
That's a good question. I want to say Ramsdale.
I'd probably go Ramsdale.
Yeah,
Gets you that coverage for the Everton game, obviously the single game day. But then on the flip side, Gaita would cover you for the Brighton Palace game. But if you're already on Gallagher, for instance, I'd
which you
probably be
probably
going.
are.
I'd
Yeah,
probably be going Ramsdale.
yeah, agreed.
Question in then from FF Dempsey. So Matip, Aspie, Havertz, Antonio, and James Ward-Prowse are all players who haven't offered value for money as of late. Which ones should I prioritise replacing?
Aspilicueta because he's not playing.
Yep, agreed. I'd say Aspie and probably Havertz. I think Havertz very likely to lose his place when Lukaku and Werner fit.
Yeah,
So
that's something I'm conscious of as well. Yeah, something to think about.
yeah, I wouldn't get rid of Antonio, not unless obviously the planned move, for instance, like myself, at some point is to go Antonio to Ronaldo or a player for captaincy. But yeah, Aspie and Havertz I think are the two there. Question from FF Richie. Is it sometimes a good idea to make a few transfers, as in a mini overhaul, if you're likely to get your team fixed? Or is patience always the best way? For example, I really want Trent instead of Van Dijk. I'm currently at 168th with 30 transfers left. Mate, you are flying. You don't need our advice, you're
Um,
flying.
it's tricky. I think you could maybe wait to overhaul. I think Van Dijk's returns tend to be more consistent, but then obviously Trent's more explosive and can do what he did at the weekend. But obviously you've sort of missed that boat. So it's a tricky one.
Agreed.
It depends if you want to go attacking it and using your transfers, but I feel like there's not too much difference in terms of Van Dijk and Trent and what
No,
they offer.
it's a very sideways move, not one I'd probably recommending. So Ben at Dream Team Tonic. With you watching Saints every game, I already have El Yanusi as my enable from the overhaul. Should I just bite the bullet and buy Livramento, or is El Yanusi showing promise to come good like he did at Celtic and Basel? I honestly think you've probably missed the boat with Livramento. Well, at least that's my opinion. Unless you're looking to save budget, and you could move there. But yeah, I think El Yanusi has performed well. He's just not obviously getting the attacking returns. You don't need the Saints' coverage necessarily.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a tricky one. It feels like another sort of a sideways one, but Elyounoussi has actually played very well the last few games.
Yeah.
However, in terms of this fantasy game, he hasn't.
No.
He's not got tears. He's not actually produced anything, but he's just been performing well.
Agreed. Yeah.
Whereas Livramento has actually been getting those returns, so
Yeah.
I could see why you're tempted to go there. I guess you just got to weigh it up and think whether we're more likely to get defensive returns or attacking returns.
Yeah. 100%. Right, jumping on to our good friend Dan Cox over at Sky by Size, and it's more of a statement to be honest. It's Kane is 29th highest point scoring striker, which is ridiculous. Yet is in 40% of teams, even more ridiculous, in the top 1K. Why do we own him? Honestly, not a fucking clue, Dan.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm loving it that people do. Maybe that'll change with Conte, but I guess
hope
it's
so.
just hope
Yeah.
from you guys.
That's the thing. It is definitely more hope than expectation at the moment. Question from Ryan Fitzsimmons. So my plan was to get Kane on Sunday the 21st and Mbeumo Thursday the 2nd to cover the single game days. I'm now thinking of getting Højbjerg and Tony, with Kane really not impressing. Thoughts?
Obviously, I'm very much behind the Højbjerg move.
Yeah, of course you are.
Um,
It's tough.
yeah, maybe. But I guess Kane could go off on one, whereas I'm not sure. Tony, I don't know. It's a bit of a question mark. He's not really done anything the last few games.
No, it's it's
I'd not be clamoring for that Brentford captaincy. I may even skip it
yeah.
because
Which I
I
wouldn't be
don't think
surprised.
there's that much really going to happen in that game.
No, agreed. I think Mbomo and Tony, for instance, could be very similar in terms of like returns. Um, Kane could go mental, could really go big in the next four, and again, that's more hope than expectation. Whereas Højbjerg's consistency is as James has obviously pointed out every single week since overhaul, um, is getting the points. So it's whether you're happy with Højbjerg's consistency of 7-8 points or the possibility of Kane say getting a 20-pointer. Question from Tom: is it worth holding Mbomo with the captaincy day in mind? For me, yes. If you brought him in, I think he's a hold until at least that day.
And for me, I think you could move him on if there's a better option out there, say Rafinha, or a bit of a sore one for you, or to a
Shut
different
the
player.
fuck up about Rafinha.
I think because I think if you get like a 12 pointer from Rafinha or a 16 pointer from Rafinha, that's right away sort of kind of
Yeah,
eclipsed any captaincy probable return.
yeah. I guess it's for me. The only reason I say that is because in my head I'm weighing up what I will be more annoyed about, and I'll be more annoyed if I take him out and he holes than if I've kept him and he doesn't.
But you got to think about what you think's going to happen.
Yeah, but it's such a good fixture. But Brentford have been terrible recently. I'd keep him, mate. But you've got two differences of opinion there, so that's the beauty of it. And finally, then, in a question in from Luke NDN, who is having another brilliant season. He's had enough of Kane. Think he's going to switch to Ronaldo the next game week? Question mark.
Do it.
Yeah.
Watford at home.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd do it. If Kane to Ronaldo was my choice, then sure. But I've already got the budget and made the moves to benefit and allow me to go Antonio to Ronaldo. But yeah, I think Ronaldo probably outscores Kane over the next 6 weeks. So yeah, go for it, mate. Right, I think that pretty much draws the Sky pod to an end there, James. So we're sponsored this month, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. This episode has been brought to us by Manscaped. Just launched their fourth generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Drawing over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer just for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TSK20 at manscaped.com.
Not bad at all. So imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom, guys. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. And obviously, both myself and James, I think, can vouch for that. Their fourth generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. Thank God for that. So it's time to get your own bowl hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence. Your bowls will definitely thank you.
Yes, they will. So that's 20% off and free shipping with the code TSK20 at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Brilliant. So I think that draws the podcast to an end there, James. And we're going to take a break next week, obviously with the international break. So we will be back for the following game week. Enjoy planning, guys. And as always, it is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers, guys.